Probably one of the most popular questions I get concerning the A+ exam in a live classroom environment is there anything that I don't need to worry about on this A+ exam? So let me just kind of tell you what you do not need to know, and maybe this will help you rest a little easier. Trust me, we're going to jump into A+ exam objectives in just a moment, but I got just one or two more videos that I want to cover for those of you who are brand new to this whole world and help you get comfortable. Okay, first of all, any technology or functionality that's not listed on CompTIA's exam objectives is not something that you need to know. Now, make sure you understand me here. Will they kind of wander out of the pasture every once in a while and ask a question that requires that you understand some little aspect of some functionality or technology that's not listed on the exam objective? Sure, that may happen. But trust me, there's not going to be enough of that on there that you're going to flunk the test. You might not make 100, but you're not going to flunk the test based on that stuff. Okay, so if you stick to those exam objectives, you're going to be okay. Now, there's not going to be any kind of, for lack of a better term, hacker type activities, what you would call non-standard computer activities, the little hacks and tips and tricks that we all learn when you kind of nerd around with these things a little bit. You're not going to get anything about breaking admin passwords. You know those little Linux boot disks that are out there that you can boot up a Windows machine and reset the administrative password and all that kind of stuff? Nothing like that's going to be on the exam. Nothing about jailbreaking mobile devices, how to do it, you know, what to watch for. None of that stuff. You're not going to see anything about overclocking the CPU, overclocking RAM, not any gaming stuff. You may see some stuff about graphics and performance, but they're not going to ask you about the latest games or anything like that. Okay, so it's going to be strictly operating system functionality, setting, you know, user complaints, that sort of thing. You're not going to see anything about Windows 8 on this exam. CompTIA has the worst timing in the world for their A+ exams, and they just updated to the 2012 objectives and released it just within a few weeks of the release of Windows 8. But for now, Windows 8 is not on this exam. Don't worry about Windows 8 on the 801 or 802 exam. You're not going to get any Linux or Unix questions, so don't worry about that. Not going to happen. And you're not going to be asked a lot about the Apple or the Mac machines, okay? They are going to, in that mobile device section, ask you about basic functionalities for the iOS, or the operating system for Apple for mobile devices. And by that, I mean the iPhone, the iPad, but they're going to ask you very general things there, and what they tend to seem to be pointing toward are things like email functionality, setting up email functionalities, that sort of thing. Basic touchscreen operation, all that kind of stuff. So get your hands on some Apple mobile devices. Like I said in a previous video, go to the store, just look at some of the demo equipment out there and play with it. Read up on it, that sort of thing. Better yet, this is the perfect excuse to go get an iPhone or an iPad. Okay, so anyway, that's what you do not need to know. Again, stick close to those objectives. Look out there in your work files folder, grab those exam objectives, and that'll show you what you need to know. Stick to that. If you don't see it there, don't worry about it, and you will be ready to pass this exam.